All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Insurance Lounge with me, Tanya.
And me, Christy.
We are your local insurance agent in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we're here to make insurance a little less boring for you and hopefully way more useful because our goal is to share with you what we know so that you can feel more confident about your insurance and so you can better protect your family, your home, your business, and most certainly your future. So, with that said, Christy, would you mind kicking us off with the topic of the week?
You got it. So thanks, Tanya, for that introduction. And today we're tackling a big one, right? I'm a good driver. I have no accidents. I have no tickets. Why does my auto insurance rate keep going up? Head
Absolutely, Christy.
scratcher, but we hear it all the time. So let's clear it up for people.
Absolutely. So let's unpack for our audience a little bit, Christy. Um, let's go back to the basic of auto insurance. So, can we share with our audience like how insurance works?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
know we all know we have to have it, right? The DMV want us to have it, the dealership want us to have it. But what is it? How does it work,
Why?
Christy?
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's important, Tanya, because I think this is something that a lot, maybe even most people don't really understand. The insurance is, think about it like it's a big pot of money. Wish I had a big pot of money, but
It's
insurance
not
is
our
a big
pot of
pot of
money.
money, right? And everybody has to pay into that. Your premium, my premium, everybody's premium goes into that same pot so that it's there now to cover claims for, for all of the things that, can happen in our vehicles, whether it's your tiny little fender bender or my totaled car, heaven forbid.
Right.
That all of that money is coming out of that same pot.
Exactly. And now there are certain things that affect the pot of money, right, Christine? Not just paying out regular claims, but
Yep.
there's a thing called, and we don't like it, it's a boo-boo word, right? There are things such like as inflation that can cause our pot of money to drain a lot faster than the insurance company can fill it up. So that's where your premium comes in, guys. When you see your rates going up, the insurance company needs to make sure that they fill the pot just enough to make sure that everyone claim is being paid, or else they're going to get in trouble, right, Christy, with the state.
They are, yeah. We have to remain financially stable enough to be able to pay out those claims.
Absolutely. And, keep in mind, guys, insurance company at the end of the day, they are a business, right? And they are in business for profit. So, you know, um, that's an important thing to consider when we think about insurance.
Mhm.
Now, uh,
But the other,
if you,
and so I want to make a point about that though, Tanya. Really, and because you can think about that like, oh, okay, well, there's big business again with its hand in my pocket, greedy big business. But as someone who's, carrying the insurance, hopefully you're doing the right thing and you're following the law and you're carrying insurance. That pot of money is there for you. And so so you have a stake in that. You're a stakeholder in this insurance company and you want them to be solvent and be able to pay those claims.
absolutely, because at the time, and we hear this all the time, Christy, at a time of a claim, we are not going to care how much we're paying, right? We're going to care how much
Right.
we're going to get paid. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you think about it this way, right? As things get more expensive, like car parts, labor,
Yeah.
material shortage, things like that that affect the economy, make the cost of everything going up. That will also cause the insurance company need to raise their premium, where you will have to take rate as well. So
Right.
now we want to share with you, can't just raise premium because these insurance companies are heavily regulated, guys. So there are a bunch of rating factors that go into your policy where they can calculate and generate the right premium for you. So, Christy, can you share with me what are some of the big rating factors when it comes to auto insurance?
Yeah, right. So think about what's happening all around us, for one thing. More distracted drivers. I don't know about you, but every day I drive past somebody looking at their phone like this while they're driving. It blows me away. So we have more distracted drivers on the road. Um, more, that's automatically going to end up in more claims. And here in Tennessee and a lot of places, your credit score actually also highly impacts your insurance premium.
Yep, absolutely. So, whether you're paying your electric bill or you're paying your credit card bills, guys, keep that in mind. It does affect your insurance premium as well. Uh, and now, speaking of other accidents, right, in the area, so not just your personal driving record, guys, but the amount of claims that are being paid out in your area as well.
Yep.
Whether it's higher in traffic, just there's just a lot of cars on the road. There's a lot of distracted driver, like Christy said. But the more claims are being paid out in your area, and especially if those claims come from uninsured drivers, that means that the people that cause car accidents at the time where they drive around with no insurance at all. And that's a bad news. That's bad news for insurance company, but that's bad news for the consumers like us who are
That's
paying
right.
bills. Right,
Yep.
Chrissy? Because even if they don't pay for insurance, where are we going to take the money to pay for our customers' claim?
Still got to come out of that pot.
That big pot
Still
of
got to come out of
money.
that pot. 22% of drivers in Tennessee are not insured. And that's terrible. But, so there's a big drain on that pot of money, and that makes our premiums go up as well when we're doing the right thing and carrying the insurance that we're supposed to have.
Exactly. Absolutely, Christy. And that's why when you drive down the road and you see all these, lawyer injury lawyers billboard everywhere up and down the freeway or up and
Hmm.
down your street,
Yeah.
you're in a high risk area. And
Yeah.
really, guys, those accidents, those payouts, really affect your rates, affect that pot of money in your area.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The
And
other
that's
thing is,
that's that's something that's, more prevalent in some states than others, right? Like, and even some, like, I think it's bigger in West Tennessee than it is in East Tennessee. Definitely, more so in Georgia, and we both serve the Georgia area as well. So, um, location is still going to impact.
absolutely. Now, what are something that our audience can do, Christy, to get a better rate, right? Whether to lower their rate or get a better rate or keep their rate from going up. So, what are some suggestions that we have?
Yeah. Well, I love a loyal customer. I love a loyal customer. And like we said, our husbands not allowed to shop. Our parents not allowed to shop. They're stuck with us. But for everybody else, it's pays to shop around. Not every renewal. You're not going to get a better rate every 6 months. But every 2 or 3 years, it does not hurt to shop around a little bit. And I tell this to my loyal customers all the time too. Um, you might not find a better rate, but at least you might find a better rate. Maybe it's better by a few dollars, but I love my agent. I love Christy. I love Tanya. I'm going to stay with her. I'm willing to pay a little bit more for that service that I'm getting, or for, the claims paying from that carrier. At least though what you're paying for, and whether or not there's something that's, you know, it's hugely better out there. I don't go around spending a whole lot of money that I don't have to spend. So it pays to know, shop around a little bit. That's one thing I think you can do. What else?
Exactly. And of course, Christy, we hate losing a loyal customer, right? But it is the right thing to do. Now, let's say, if you really love your agent and the insurance is not a little more, it's a lot more,
Or yeah,
right? So what we tell everyone to do is, call your agent, guys. If you really love your agents, like our customer love us, then give your agent a call, right? Ask them about the different discounts you can qualify for.
yep,
Maybe your lifestyle have changed, Christy. Maybe you drove a little less now that you retired. Maybe now that your child is back enrolled in school full time and they might qualify for the good student discount.
sure, yeah,
um, there are things like certain company might offer telematics, right? These with technology nowadays, you can do a lot of things where you can get reward for driving safely. So
yeah,
definitely ask about those things. And the biggest thing that we like when it comes to discount, I know Christy and I like this one, is the bundling of it, right, guys?
absolutely, yeah. It's huge. It's huge.
So huge.
Yeah, you're all almost, I mean, and I don't think there's, I mean, certainly we don't see commercials on TV from carriers that say we're not gonna, we don't want to bundle your coverage. Everybody offers a bundled, package where you're gonna pay less for each policy. So,
And if you have multiple cars, guys, just let the agents quote them because you're going to get that multi-car discount. Honestly, getting a comparison quote is not going to be fair to you if you're not getting all the discount that you can get. So we
right,
encourage you to really help your agent or help the agent that you're talking to help you find way to save money on your insurance. The other thing that we might want to consider too, Christy, is the not only making sure that we have good coverages, but the deductibles that we choose to carry out of pocket costs. Guys,
yeah,
if your rainy day funds is there and is you can afford the deductible, we encourage you to raise your deductible because that can save a little bit of money, right, Christy?
right, yeah. I personally prefer to carry a higher deductible, and pay less each month. I'm a fairly safe driver, and so the chances that I'm going to have to use that deductible, use that out of pocket money, I think are fairly low. So I'd rather carry that high deductible and pay less, for my policy overall. So I encourage people to do that. But like you said, you do have to have the rainy day fund there to be able to do that. You
Absolutely.
can look at skipping coverages that you might not need. If I've got 5 cars in the driveway, well, if one of them is out of commission, do I have another one that I could use rather than carrying, rental car coverage on my policy? That might be some money you can save.
Exactly. And guys, if you already have like a auto club membership with AAA or AARP, you do not need to purchase towing for your auto insurance
Yeah,
policy, right? Because now you're paying money in two places. You're doubling coverage on for yourself. So then again, if you have an agent, if you're talking to an agent to get new quote or you're reviewing your policy, make sure you share that information with your agent so that they can help you figure out how to not overpay for things and not how to overpay for double coverage.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just hit on it too. Don't be shy. Ask your agent, why did my rate go up? Is there anything you can do to help me get it back down? Um, anytime you see a rate increase on your policy, don't feel like here's the thing. If you feel like you're bothering your agent when you call them and ask that question, you might need to call me or Tanya instead.
Absolutely, guys. And if your rate has gone up recently, we want to hear your story. Drop in the comment below. If you think that we're helpful to you, like and subscribe for more tips. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Insurance Lounge today. We appreciate you.
Catch y'all next time.